how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. Today's video is going to be a 5 looks with 5 palettes. Typically, this video series from me is very much like a 3 looks, 3 palettes, but there were just so many things recently that either recently came out or are coming very soon, and I couldn't decide what 3 to prioritize, so I just decided let's do them all. But yeah, we're just gonna get into it. I'm doing 1 look with each of these 5 palettes. I'm doing close-ups, swatches, all that good stuff. I'll give you my thoughts so far on all these palettes at the end, and it's just gonna be a fun, colorful time. So without further ado, let's just hop in and chat about these 5 palettes that I'm gonna be featuring. First up is the Snow Angel palette from Simply Posh Cosmetics. I'm so excited about this. Simply Posh has an amazing formula. They haven't launched anything new in quite a long time, and I'm so excited about this one. I'm very much into these like dusty blue, green, pink sort of vibes for winter right now. The shimmers are so shiny and pretty. This is very much what I'm craving as far as winter tones. I think this is so, so pretty. And I feel like especially society very much moves on from winter after the holidays are over, when really winter has only just begun when like the holidays are here. So we're still very much in winter. And don't get me wrong, I love a Valentine's themed palette, but I'm not ready to like completely let go of winter yet. So like I'm happy to see this more so after like the holidays because it's still very much winter and I think it's still very fitting. This one did launch recently. I will have everything I talk about today linked down below, all of my makeup details, all that good stuff. But this one has already launched. Everything will be down below for you. Next up is Blend Bunny's newest palette, the Plastic palette. And when I tell you, I'm so excited to see a small, curated, themed palette. This makes me so happy. Blend Bunny is known for doing these very large, gradient palettes. It's very much their thing, but I'm so excited to see them kind of branch out, do something smaller. We have this cutie 12 pan palette. We have kind of a half neutral, half pink sort of color story. We do have a pop of this very shifty sort of blue as well. It's very fun. I feel like especially if you're someone who likes neutrals a lot and only likes to incorporate little pops of color, this would be perfect for you. Not to say you can't do a very colorful look. You will see we go very colorful for this palette, but I feel like especially for those of you who like to kind of play with neutrals with a twist, neutrals with pops of color, this is very much going to be your vibe. I really enjoy Blend Bunny's formulas, and I'm just so excited about this very small curated theme. I really hope to see more of this in the future. This one has already launched already as well, and you can use my affiliate code BATTYBEAN to save. Again, broken record. It'll all be linked down below for you. Next up is Fantasy Cosmetica's newest palette. We have a new member joining the party. This is the Monk palette, and I'm so excited. I'm just loving seeing this theme just grow and just have more characters added. It's so fun. It's another 9-pan palette fitting the theme with the rest of the like class palettes that they've done prior. Very much a bright, sunny, warm, very sunflower vibes. It's very, very cool. I love the 2 marbled shades. The shimmers are so impactful, just very warm and bright and just so, so fun. I love Fantasy Cosmetica with my entire being, so I always get excited about a new launch from them. This one's launching on Wednesday, January 29th, and you can use my affiliate code BATTYBEAN to save. At this moment, I don't know the time it's launching off the top of my head, but again, it'll all be in the description box for you. Next up, going into a very Valentine's-y theme, but with a twist, we have the Bitten palette. This is kind of a vampire Valentine's palette. I am so excited. I love a Valentine's theme. I love a spooky theme. This is the best of both worlds. I love like a very berry, purple, pink, red sort of vibe. This is so moody and so dark and so cool. I love Gourmande Girls formulas. I love when Doodles by the Bunny does the artwork for their palettes. It's always a match made in heaven. And this is so exciting. This is probably one of my favorites this brand has ever done. It is just gorgeous, very much what I'm into right now. It's so pretty. This one I believe is launching the day this video gets uploaded, so I don't know if it'll have launched before or after. It depends on when this video gets uploaded. I will be waiting for the 5th and final palette to get revealed when this video goes up. But this is launching on January 27th at 11 a.m. EST, and you can use my affiliate code BATTYBEAN to save. Again, it'll either be launching very soon this same day or it's already launched, but I'm very, very excited for this one. And last but not least is the Lovers palette from Cosmic Brushes. I am so excited. Again, I love a Valentine's theme. I love this brand, one of my top favorite brands, and I love the tarot card theme. This is so cool, so fun. It is arranged more vertically. If you just store your palette like this, it will match all of your other Cosmic Brushes palettes aside from the Gothic because that one's smaller. It's still the same size, it's just vertical instead of horizontal. But she is so pretty. I love this kind of combination of the half warm, half cool. I love the very dusty, rosy vibes, the dusty plums, the more moody blues and sagey greens. It is so pretty. I think it's so eye-catching and just so beautiful. I love their formulas so incredibly much. So I'm so excited to see a new palette from them. I wasn't expecting one so soon because they did launch like a holiday palette, and I wasn't expecting this. This was such a happy surprise when I got like the shipping notification. I am so stoked. I don't know the time as of this moment, but this one is launching on January 31st. If I figure out the time by the time this video goes up, I will have it listed down below for you, and you can use my affiliate code BATTYBEAN to save. So very exciting stuff. We have 5 very cool palettes, and I'm excited to dive into them. So without further ado, let's hop in, get into all of these looks, and then at the end, I will give you my thoughts so far on these palettes. Hi friends, how's it going? Let's get into this first look. I'm very excited. I want to dive into the Snow Angel palette from Simply Posh. Obviously, we've already talked about the insides and the intro and stuff like that, but just again, very like dusty, wintry colors. I'm very excited. I feel like I want to do something kind of like soft purpley, maybe a splash of pink. I also want to do something that's smoky, but very much targeted on like just the upper lid and kind of angling like outwards and upwards. It's kind of what I'm feeling today. I'm gonna prime with my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Eye Primer. I'm just gonna smear this on and blend it out. So let's see, I think I want to start with Winter Wonder. I'm gonna be using the brushes that are in the Simply Posh brush set. They don't have names on them, but I'm gonna use a little packing brush to start with. And I'm just gonna focus this kind of like on my lid. Actually, I'm gonna completely cover my lid. Why not? I'll just use my shimmer as more of a topper than like an opaque shimmer. I mean, it'll still look opaque and shiny. Don't get me wrong. These shimmers are incredible. But yeah, I'm just gonna cover my lid with this darker shade. And then I am gonna kind of inch it outwards and upwards as I get to this outer corner, just to kind of elongate that eye shape just a little bit before I start going in with my other shades to blend it out. Next, I want to take the shade Flurries, this soft purple. I'm going to use this smaller, kind of more dense, like it's bigger than a pencil brush, but it's not like a big fluffy brush by any means. And I'm just going to focus that kind of right on top of what I just did, just to lightly blur the edge of that before I grab one more shade to help blend it out even further. Just kind of lightly diffusing it. I'm not using a lot of pressure, doing very soft little movements and kind of tippy-tapping as I get to this outer corner, just to get that a little softer, like it's less blocky, having that other shade in there before I go in with my final blend. And I'm liking this just like heavy upper. I think that looks really cool. So I think for the final blend, I actually do want to go in with the pink Ice Skate. I just feel like smoky purples with little splashes of pink is just the move today, especially with my very pink blush. I did use 2 of the Simply Posh blushes for most of my blush. I did top a little bit of a powder over them. All the details are in the description box. I also did film a little like blush combo video for like Reels, YouTube Shorts, all that good stuff. But all that to say is very pink cheeks, so maybe a splash of pink on the eyes would be great too. Using one of the like more medium-sized blending brushes with that pink. And again, similar to what I did before, I'm just using even less pressure. Honestly, I don't think it's necessary. I'm just dragging a little teeny sprinkle of this pink along that upper. It's not gonna look like pink, but that dusty pink vibe is just gonna kind of change the tone of that outward blend just a little bit. I really am digging this shape. I think that's really pretty. So for the lid, I was thinking Angel would be really cool. This just really pretty, yummy, shifty, shiny purple. It's very cool. I'm not even gonna put down a shimmer primer. I'm just gonna tap this over with my finger, just because I'm okay if it's just more of like a toppered effect. That is one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life. That may be an exaggeration, but are we kidding? That's so twinkly. I'm so excited about this. Like, Simply Posh hasn't launched something in a while, so this is a banger. They came back like ready. This is so cool. Simply Posh's quality is simply amazing. I genuinely can't get over how sparkly that is. That's just, it's magical. It's so pretty. So for the inner corner, I want to use Frost. Again, just kind of playing on that pink just a little bit more. I'm going to use this teensy tiny little brush from the brush set. I'm just going to very lightly just add a little pink in there. I'm really happy with this look. This was so, honestly, pretty simple, but I feel like it's so bold and impactful and just really cool. And honestly, you could take this technique and recreate this vibe with any of these color options in the palette. And I think it would be very, very cool. I'm so beyond happy with this. I can't even begin to tell you. Okay, threw on my mascara. This is the Glossier mascara. And then I threw on my eye pencil. This is Verve from Lethal. It's just kind of like a soft, like shifty pink. There's a little bit of a green shift, but I feel like it kind of matched that inner corner enough, and I didn't want anything too wild. I wanted something very bright. But for lips, I kind of want something bold. I don't know how well this will match. This is from Klarity Kosmetics. I've actually never worn this, so this will be a first impression. It's in the shade Blow Me. Very aggressive, but that's fine. But I thought this, like, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's really cool, actually. I think it like just matches this eye look really well. So let's see how this goes. I have no idea how this formula is. I will say it's a very liquidy formula. Like it feels very, it doesn't feel runny like it's dripping everywhere. It's just very liquidy. Like I feel like it could get everywhere if I'm not careful. I'm also not a huge fan of the scent. It's very coconutty, which I don't mind the scent of coconut, but it's pretty overpowering. So hopefully it's not like that once I'm actually done applying. I do really, really like that color though. I think that goes with the eyes really well. You know what? I take it back. I don't think it smells like coconut. I think it smells like bubble gum. And that makes the Blow Me make more sense. If that's the connection, that's the new connection I'm gonna make in my mind at least. Why is your mind in the gutter? Here is how look number 1 turned out. I think this is very cool, very bold. I cannot get over just how sparkly the lids are. I love this shape. It's smoky, it's very cool. I really like this. I'm feeling excited. Let's move on now to look number 2. Hi friends, let's get into look number 2. I wanna play with the plastic from Glen Bunny. Very excited, kind of a cutie little, you know, half neutral, half pink sort of vibe. Very Mean Girls, very Regina George, and I love that. As far as my accessories go, I wasn't really wearing anything in look number 1, so I didn't say anything. But look number 2, I have these cutie little bat earrings from Windle Straw Studio. And I believe I have a code with them. It's not an affiliate code, it's just a discount for you if you want to save money. But it's BATTYBEAN if you want to shop. They have really cute stuff. But yeah, I'm just priming with my Milk Makeup Primer. Just gonna blend it out, and then we're gonna get into it. I want something sultry, smoky, splashes of pink. I think it's gonna be very cool. So I'm gonna start with Reputation. I'm gonna use this Simply Posh brush. I think I'm gonna use this set for the whole video if I can, just to, you know, test it out. But I'm just gonna focus this very much on just that outer little corner and the outer corner of my lower lash line. Just for like a little something, a little smokiness. So now I want to go in with Rumor Has It. I'm going to take this more medium-sized blending brush from the Simply Posh collection. I'm going to start in the bottom just because I want the bottom to be a little smokier anyway. And I'm just going to start really blurring and blending at this edge. I'm going to wipe this brush off periodically as well because I don't want it to get like kind of coated in black. I'm just going to use this like kind of reddish brown to blur this out some more before I go in with that very vibrant hot pink. Okay, moving on to Pseudo Celeb. Bright, vibrant hot pink. I'm gonna use a big fluffy brush for this. Again, I'm gonna start in the bottom just because I'm very cool with this pink kind of getting everywhere. Like I already have very pink cheeks. I figured I would keep the very pinky, Simply Posh blush combo for this video. I'm just gonna blend and blur at the bottom of this. I just love a heavy smoked out lower lash line, and especially when it's bright pink. I don't know what it is. This like specific placement of this color has always made me happy. It's just, it's so cool. It's weird and just so fun. So fun. I love it. It just makes me feel like a fairy. I think that's what it is. Like the heavy pink lower lash. It's very fairy and it's very cute. I'm gonna use my Shine On Shimmer Primer between Clionadh and Bad to the Brow. Just going to smear this all over my lid. Start getting into those really pretty shimmers. So I want to use a Clout Jason. Like this is one of the shades that just like, oh yeah, that means a lot to me. I'm gonna press this on that lower part of my lid just so it can kind of blend in with that smoky outer corner. Kind of like that. The shimmer feels very soft. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It just feels like very soft and smooth. Just blending at that edge as well, just to, you know, continue softening things up. Making sure it all flows together. For the rest of my lid, I want to take Faux, that metallic bright pink. I feel like I can't not. Ooh, it's so bright. So, so bright. Yes, 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 yes. Ooh, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Hot pink like this is definitely not something it's not that I dislike it, but I don't gravitate toward it that often. But I feel like the times I do, especially with like makeup, it just like, I don't know, it thrills me. It's so cool. I just really like that. I like the smokiness. I like that splash of pink in the front. I love the very blown out fairy lower lash line, if you will. For the inner corner, plastic. That just seems like a good option. I'm gonna take this little teeny brush and just kind of pop it in that inner corner. That is literally perfect. All right, finished my mascara and eye pencil. I used the Glossier mascara again, and then this is the bright pink pencil from Oden's Eye. I'm just feeling this look so much. It's just so bold and so fun, and I love it, I love it. For lips, I'm gonna start with the number 6 pencil from Freck. This is just kind of like a darker, like reddish brown, but I feel like it's gonna kind of flow with that outer corner pretty nicely. And then I am gonna add a pop of brightness in the mix of this pencil. So I'm just kind of lining and lightly filling in and just kind of blending out that edge. All right, so now that I have that kind of set up, I'm busting out my brightest pink lipstick. If you've watched my like makeup collection and declutter videos at the end of every year, every time I get to this specific lipstick, which is Pinky Promise from Dose of Colors, I always say, I rarely wear this, but sometimes I get the urge, and today's that day. So I'm just gonna dot it and kind of pat it out so that it blends in with that darker lip pencil. I think that is pretty darn cool. Then I wanna add this gloss as well. This is She Got Money from NYX, just, you know, a bright, pinky gloss. I just think the combo is so fun, and like it's very bold and very weird, and I love it. Here's look number 2, just super cool and bold, and I love it. I think it's so fun. I just love that heavy pink lower lash line. The pink lip obviously makes this like extreme pink, so if you're into the eyes but the lip is too much for you, you could always wear something soft. A nude always works, you know, but I just wanted to do something a little more funky and weird, and I like it a lot. So this is look number 2. I hope you like it. Let's move on now to look number 3. Okay, hi, let's get into look number 3. I want to play with the Monk palette from Fantasy Cosmetica. So pretty. Definitely a completely different vibe compared to the first 2 palettes I've played with so far. I'm excited. Very sunflower in your face. Very, very cool. I want to do a reverse smoky eye as well. I feel like it's been a while since I've done one, and I feel like the gradient in this palette will just be so pretty for that. So I'm first priming just again with my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Eye Primer. I'm just going to blend this out, and we're gonna get started. So I'm gonna start with this Brown Stillness. This is very much gonna be just a very sunflowery reverse smoky eye. So I'm gonna start with this teeny pencil brush from that Simply Posh set. And I'm gonna start by just adding some of this really deep in the inner corner of my eye. Not like the direct center, but just like the inner part of that lower lash line and lid. Just a teeny bit, just to start putting this darkness with the reverse smoky eye. If you've never seen me do one before, it's basically the same idea as a traditional smoky eye, except instead of the depth being in the outer corner, it's in the inner corner. And then I blend toward the outer and it gets lighter, and it's very fun. Very much, I don't know, more unique placement, if you will. A very fun way to spice things up if you get bored. Now I'm gonna take this more tapered blending brush, and I'm just taking a teeny bit more of that brown, not a lot at all. And I'm just gonna very lightly just start blurring at that edge before I go in with lighter shades. I don't want this to be dragged out too far. I just wanted to start kind of diffusing it a little bit before I go in with my other colors. But we are off to a good start. All right, let's move into some orange now. I'm gonna take Timeless. I'm gonna use just a slightly bigger blending brush, and I'm gonna start focusing this like just toward this direction. So I'm gonna putting it a little bit on top of what I just did with that brown, And just very lightly kind of blending and scooting. Again, I'm using very little product. I feel like especially with Fantasy Cosmetica shadows, they're very pigmented, so a little goes a long way. But I'm just using a little bit of product and very light pressure just to start adding that diffusion in there without it overtaking. Look how soft and blurred that's already looking. It's so cool. I'll do the same to that lower part as well. Again, just kind of bringing it a little bit down and a little bit out. The shade of orange is very cute. I like it. Very like tangerine-y. It's very cute. I'm excited to add in that yellow though. I'm such a sucker for yellow eyeshadow. Pretty much always have been, always will be. Moving into some yellow, I want to take Stun. I'm gonna use my biggest fluffy brush now from that Simply Posh brush set, and I'm just gonna start kind of in the middle of my eye. And again, little product, little pressure, and I'm just gonna very much just kind of sweep it. I'm getting a blend going from like all this dark like brown orange stuff going on, and then I want it to just kind of fade out toward like my skin. Kind of like that. So we have kind of that dark into light going this way. I'm gonna do the same with that lower lash line again. Very, very little product and little pressure as well, just because this is a smaller area. I don't need this to get overwhelmed, but I do want to kind of match the vibe of the top. I think that looks very, very cool. I think that's so pretty. I'm excited to add the shimmer into this look. I feel like it's been a while since I've played with this much yellow. It's so cool. I love this combination that we have going on. It's very just vibrant and happy and sunny and so cool. Moving on to some shimmer now. I'm just gonna take a little bit, not a lot. I mean, I feel like I never use a lot anyways, but just a little bit of that Shine On Primer between Clionadh and Bad to the Brow. I'm just gonna very lightly kind of tap across my lid. So I do want to use a couple shimmers. I'm gonna start with Deflect, and then I want to add a little bit of this middle shade Flurry. So I'm kind of just gonna grab them on both of my fingers. So I'm gonna start with Deflect first, that more like dark, very warm, orangey gold. Yeah, that's very cool. I'm just kind of popping that lightly in the inner corner of my lid. It's just such a pretty metallic. And now I'm gonna take some of Flurry, and I'm gonna put it firstly like right on top of the edge of that, and then I just want it to kind of fade off into like the rest of my lid. Oh, that's so good. I'm such a sucker for these like marbledy looking shadows. It's like one of my favorite things to find in a palette nowadays are marbled shades. I'm not gonna put any more shimmer on the lower lash line just because I feel like it's doing its own thing very nicely on the top. I do want a little bit of an inner corner highlight though, so going into the other marbled shade Flow. Just gonna use my pinky. Oh, it's so pretty. Just gonna pop that right there in the center. I feel like even though I'm doing a reverse smoky eye where there's lots of depth in the inner part of my eye, I feel like an inner corner highlight is still always a fun addition. I'm gonna kind of go in now with my previous blending brushes and just kind of re-blend just in those areas where I was initially laying those different shades down, just to kind of make sure it's all flowing nicely. I'm pretty darn happy with this though. This is one of those looks that's really kind of quick. Like, it doesn't require too much technical skill. I feel like it's just a lot of just blending and gradient forming, but it's so impactful and so cool. I like this a lot. Look at how pretty those shimmers are. All right, threw my mascara on and just a brown eye pencil. I felt like that just suited really nicely. This is Sunnyvale from Colourpop. For lips, I just want something warm and yummy, so I'm gonna use my Wise pencil from Rare Beauty to start. I'm just gonna line and lightly fill in, just to get a basis with this warm brownish pencil before I go in with my lipstick. And for lipstick, I was thinking a yellowy brown would just be perfect. This is Lose My Number from Melt. And let's see. Yes. Yes, 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 1,000 times yes. I love this color and I love Melt's lipstick formula. It's just so good. Here's how the final look turned out. I think it's very cool, just very warm and sunny, and I think it's very fun. These shimmers are so pretty, so glossy and dimensional looking, especially when like the light hits it. I'm very happy with this. I love Fantasy Cosmetic's formulas, and I'm excited for a new member joining the party. We have the Monk now. Very exciting stuff, and I feel like this adds something just new and fun to their lineup. I feel like it has its own place, and that's very cool. But yeah, this is the look. I hope you like it. Let's move on to the next one. Hiya, friends. How's it going? Another look. This is the longest multiple looks video ever, probably. But I've been having fun, and like I probably said in the intro, there were just so many palettes either out recently or coming soon that I just couldn't decide which 3 to prioritize for my normal 3 looks 3 palette. So I said, let's just do all 5. Priming again with my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip. I'm just gonna smear this on and blend it out. I guess maybe I should also show you which palette I'm using for this look. Instead of just diving right in, I'm excited to play with this palette if you can't tell. But I'm gonna be using the new Gourmande Girls Bitten palette, just a fun purple berry toned vampire themed palette. It is perfect. I'm very much into like these berry tones right now. I'm always into purples. This is so pretty. I'm very excited. I want to do something kind of graphic shadowy, lots of shimmer on the lid, smoked out, blown out lower lash, the whole shebang. I'm gonna start with Hellmouth. I'm gonna use this very flat packing brush from that same Simply Posh brush set. And I've done this a couple times already, but I'm gonna do it again for this look. So I kind of just like place it like around where I want it, and I'll kind of just drag it down. And I basically just use the shape of this brush to sort of form like kind of a rounded wingy sort of shape in the outer corner. I think it's a very fun, just kind of interesting take on a shape. I feel like it adds really cool drama and interest, and that's just kind of what I wanted for this look. I kind of just formed the general shape, and I'm not going to take this in too far, just enough to kind of form roughly this shape. I do need to get a little bit closer with my mirror to perfect it, but I'll do that in a second. I'm going to also kind of drag a little of this on the outer corner of that lower lash line, and then I'll just kind of detail this just to get it a little bit more of that like rounded shape that I'm going for. So yeah, kind of like that, just a very bold, intense sort of outer corner situation. So I want to start blending out the edges of that, so I'm going to use Fangs. It's like a really rich, yummy dark purple. I'm going to use this tapered blending brush from that Simply Posh set, and I'm going to very lightly just start kind of blurring the edge of that darker shade, inching it in toward my lid a little bit more. I'm just already loving the drama. I'm loving the depth, the drama. It's all so good. I am also gonna start blurring the edge of this outer corner. I do want a pretty heavily smoked out, blended out lower lash line. It's just, you know, one of my favorite things. I just can't even help myself. In doing that though, I do want to keep this structure pretty solid. So I'm really just focusing on like the very like bottom portion of that. So I am gonna do a lot more blending on that lower lash line, but I'm gonna pause on that to start working on the lid. The rest of the lid is just gonna be shimmer focused. So I'm taking my Shine On Shimmer Primer between Clionadh and Bad to the Brow and just doing a light little layer of this. I am just gonna use my finger for a lot of this. So I'm just gonna lightly press that in and get that nice and just blend it out so it's not a glob of primer, you know? So I'm gonna use 2 shimmers. I'm gonna be using Bitten and Hysteria. So starting with Bitten, that is so pretty. That's gonna go at the outer part of my lid, kind of blending into those mattes that I already put down. Oh, that's so good. I'm so excited to just be a vampire today. It's gonna be great. And then for the rest of my lid, Hysteria. Oh, look at that. I think I raved about marble shadows in the previous look from Fantasy Cosmetica, and I'm gonna do it again. I just love marbled shadows. I just feel like they look so cool and dimensional on the lid. I just cannot get enough. It's so, so fun. So I'm just kind of lightly tapping this on my lid. I do want this to stay roughly in line with this shape that I've been building, but I can perfect it with a brush later. I'm just starting by just actually placing the shadow down. This is such a cool color. It's so bright and vibrant and amazing. I'm gonna kind of go back and forth between both shimmers, just getting a nice kind of blur between those shades. I'll also kind of blend into that shape that I've already laid down in the outer corner just a little bit. Taking a teeny bit more of Hysteria. Actually, I'm gonna do Hysteria mixed with Bitten on the very edge of this packing brush, just so that I can kind of really connect this into that shape that I have formed, just to get a little bit more precise with it. Yes, yes, yes. This is looking pretty darn cool. I like how it's just so bold and structured in that like shape, but then it just like drifts off into the soft blurred shimmer in the front. This is very cool. So I do want to add some more red in here. So I'm going to take Bloodlust now. I'm going to take this kind of tapered fluffy brush. And I'm just gonna start kind of blurring that on this lower lash line out here just a little bit, just to add a touch of red into this look as well. I don't want it to just be too monochromatic purple. I wanted kind of a mixture of what I had going on in this palette. I'm liking just the bold, heavy under eye. I just think it looks very, you know, vampire. And that's what the theme of the palette is. We gotta go with it. I do want to add a touch of this lavender Immortal. Just taking my biggest fluffy brush from that set, and I'm just going to start running this on this lower area just a little bit more. I just want everything to kind of blend into my blush and just give a very, I don't know, smoky, blown out sort of look. I'm even actually gonna kind of top my blush over this again a little bit, just so it all fuses together. I really wanted my eyes and blush to kind of connect. I've been using the same blush combo for every look, but I'm specifically gonna grab my powder one. This is the NYX Buttermelt one in my But a Half. I'm gonna use this little Singe brush, the F06. I'm just going to lightly tap this kind of in that outer area, not to like cover up anything, but just so that my blush and shadow all kind of blend together. I'm just taking a very small amount and just kind of merging everything. For the inner corner, I was thinking Mina would be cute. Just taking it on my pinky and running that in the inner corner. I just genuinely feel like a vampire right now. It's very fun. I did throw on my mascara. I did add a couple little face crystals, just because I felt like I could be more extra with this look, why not? And then I did add in my eye pencil. I'm using Trick or Treat from the ColourPop old Hocus Pocus collab 1,000 years ago, just like a metallic purple. For lips, I was kind of thinking a really dark red, honestly something similar to like my beanie. I just thought like something red and vampy could be a really cool contrast to keep playing with this like pinkish purple vibe that I already have. So this is Haunting from Blend Bunny. Oh yeah. That's gonna be very cool. I like this decision already. It's just such a good color. And honestly, with how bold my eyes are, this almost looks subtle in comparison. It suits it so nicely. Here's the look complete. I think it came out very cool. It's very bold, very colorful, very out there. I feel like it kind of captures, honestly, the essence of the palette really well. I like the bold lip with the bold eyes. It's just, I'm enjoying it. I think this is very fun. But yeah, let's move on to the next look. Okay, friends, let's hop into our final look for the video, the Lovers palette with Cosmic brushes. It's just so pretty. I love kind of the half and half. It's very, very fun. So of course, as always, priming with my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip. Just gonna smear it on and blend it out. I wanna do kind of a half cut crease, just very like blown out, smoky half cut crease. I do want a little bit of contrasting colors going on, kind of playing with both sides of the palette just a little bit. I do want to embrace a lot of blue and green because I feel like that's like just a color that I didn't really play a whole lot with in this roundup of, you know, looks that I've done. So I feel like the blue and green will give us some newness. I want to start with Partnership, this blue. I'm going to use this brush from Simply Posh, kind of this like tapered, smaller blending brush, and I'm going to take this all the way from inner to outer corner. I do want most of the focus to be on this outer though, and I'm going to kind of tippy tap in this outer corner as well, and just kind of lightly bring that up toward the tail of my brow. And I'm going to pop a little of this on that lower lash line. Love this particular shade of blue. That's really, really pretty. So I'm gonna deepen this up just a smidgen. I'm gonna take Commitment. I'm gonna use this teensy tiny little brush, and I'm just going to very lightly just kind of pop this in the very deepest part of my crease, and also just like kind of along this outer edge of that outer corner. Not so much that like this black takes over, just enough to add a little bit of depth. I'm doing the same thing to that lower lash line, just popping a little bit of it. And then I'll go in with just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit more of Partnership, and I'll just very lightly blur and buff that out. Again, really just enough to add a little bit of depth before I start blending out with some green. But I'm liking the depth that added. I think that was a good decision. All right, I'm gonna take Mutual now, this green. I'm gonna use this fluffier blending brush, and I'm going to, I feel like, start on the outer parts. And I'm just gonna very lightly start swirling this around the outside edge of that blue that I already have laid down. Even wiping this brush off periodically so it stays relatively clean as I add this green and do some blending. I don't necessarily need the green to take over. I just kind of wanted to use a little bit of this just to help with that gradient, because I am going to be blending out with that minty shade as well, and I thought this would be a really good kind of branch into the mint. I will say too, this particular shade of green is one of those mattes that has sparkle pressed into it, and typically I'm just like, it doesn't really matter. It's just gonna act like a matte the sparkle dusts away. You can't tell a lot unless you're like really up close, but the sparkle did actually stick around. So that added a fun, ethereal little effect, which I'm impressed by because usually I don't care for these shades because it doesn't really matter. It's like, just make it a matte. So I'm gonna take Devoted now. And I'm gonna use this big fluffy brush, and I'm really just gonna use this mint just to very, very lightly dust around the very edges, just to kind of finish off that blend, just to get it to where it's very soft and diffused. I feel like especially in the front, I want that to get a little bit more diffused before I go in and cut my crease with my shimmers. Moving on to some shimmer now, I'm gonna start with my Shine On Shimmer Primer between Clionadh and Bad to the Brow. Just gonna smear a little bit of this on my lids. I'm gonna use the super flat brush from the Simply Posh set to kind of carve out where I want my cut to be with that primer. Just to help kind of clean things up a little bit and also just get it, you know, prepped and ready for my shimmer. I like to go just above my natural crease, and then I just kind of follow the natural roundness of my eyeball. And I kind of stop it where things are deepening up in that outer corner, but it kind of preps it a little bit more. So I really want to use connection on the majority of the lid, but I also want to use a little bit of truth on the outer part. I'm gonna go ahead and just lay a little bit of truth down. I'm gonna use my finger. That is so pretty. Cosmic Brushes shimmers, they get me every time. So pretty. And now I'm gonna take that small flat brush with that connection shade, that weird pinky multi-chrome. And I'm just gonna take that right up against my cut. Oh, this is gonna be so cool. I'm so excited. I'll cover the whole lid with this too, like the remaining blank part, but I'm just kind of getting the actual cut portion solidified first. Now I'm just gonna take a finger and pop this, wow, all over the rest of my lid. Just letting it kind of fade into that cut portion, and I want it to just fade into that blue shimmer that's in the outer corner. I love the way those look next to each other. That's so cool. I think maybe Promise would be kind of cool in the inner corner. I don't know, maybe just pull in like, I mean, not that there's a lot of green in this look. I only use the green for the purpose of blending, but this might just kind of bring it forth a little bit more. I really like that. That's a good shade. It's a really good shade. Okay, threw on my mascara and then my eye pencil's Outer Space from Colourpop. For lips, I want just something kind of soft and pink, so I think I'm gonna start with Desert Mauve Pencil from Lawless. Just gonna lightly line and fill in. And then I'm gonna take Picnic Blanket from Likely Makeup. I'm not gonna do a lot of this. I'm just gonna kind of lightly dot it in the center. And then I'll use my finger to kind of blur and pat it out, just so I get a soft blend between the lip color and my like pencil. But I like this combo, just like a soft, pinky sort of look. Here's how the final look turned out. I think it came out so pretty. I love the contrast of the very blue, blown out crease with the very shifty pink lid. I think it's all very fun. I think it came out very cool. And I can't believe this was the final look. This was super fun, but let's zoom out now and I will give you my thoughts so far on all 5 of these palettes. Thanks so much for watching my video. I had so much fun. I feel like all of these palettes just played so differently. I got such different vibes, such a fun experience with all of them. Really, none of these were misses for me. I think these were all really amazing launches, which is why it made me hard to prioritize what to use for this video. Hence why it turned into a 5 looks instead of the standard 3. Don't get used to 5. This is a lot more time consuming, but worth it in my mind because this was a blast. You'll have to let me know which look was your favorite. I don't know if I can even pick a favorite because they were all so cool in their own way and so different. I feel like the Bitten look really sticks out to me. That was really, really fun. I also loved my look with the Snow Angel. I love the look I'm wearing right now. This was a fun roundup. I'm very pleased with it. Let's chat about these palettes now. First, we have the Snow Angel. I think this is such a great launch. Simply Posh, like I'd mentioned before, hasn't launched anything in a while, and I feel like they knocked it out of the park. This was such a great return back into launching a new palette, and I just love it. The shimmers are incredible. I love the dusty, moody vibes. This is just so beautiful, so thrilling. I had an absolute blast playing with it. Next is the plastic. I cannot stress enough just how excited I am to see a small curated theme. I know I've already said that so many times, but I just can't get enough, and I really, really hope we see more of this. I think this is fun. I don't think this is gonna be like, you know, my perfect color story, just because I'm not very much a half neutral, half colorful kind of girl. I'm very much a like, colorful kind of person. I do dabble in neutrals from time to time, but it's just not my go-to. I do think, however, this is going to be absolutely perfect for you if you're somebody who likes a half colorful, half neutral, or maybe you've been wanting to try this brand, but you didn't want one of the giant palettes. I feel like this would be a great place to start as well, provided you like neutrals and hot pinks. It's a very specific color story, but I think it's very fun. I think it was very well done. I really enjoyed playing with it. Their mattes blend like butter and the shimmers are so pretty. I'm very excited about this. Even though it's not my perfect color story, I think it was done very, very well and I've had a great time playing with it. Next is the Monk palette from Fantasy Cosmetica. So stinking cute. I love the sunflower sort of color story. I just love the different gradient. I love the different shades of yellow, the different shades of orange. It's all very, very fun. I'm dying to dive into this mustard yellow. Mustard yellow is one of my top favorite colors of all time. The marbled shimmers, I cannot get over a marbled texture. It's just one of my favorites. Just so pretty. I think this is very curated. Again, it's very specific, like you have to be into like, you know, yellows and oranges to like this palette. But if you do, I feel like this is perfect. Like it's just so well balanced. I love the depth that's in here. Like you can do things that are very light, but you can really deepen things up by adding a lot of focus with this dark brown. The shimmers are just gorgeous. Very, very pretty. I feel like this fits in with their lineup really well. The Bitten, if I had to pick one favorite from this whole video, it's probably this one. It's just so good. Spooky theme, a Valentine's theme, like it's perfect for me. I love the berry tones. Like this is just such a moody, dark, yummy, well-balanced palette. Like again, similar to what I've said like with the Monk palette, this is a very specific color story. You have to very much be into like these berry plummy tones, but I think if you are, this was done so, so well. I love the splashes of like this dark magenta and the red. I love all these different pretty shimmers. Again, we have like this lovely marbled shade. It's just so good. Gourmande Girls killed it with this one. What a great first launch of the year. And probably my second favorite of the video, the Lovers. I'm so excited about this. This is just, it's one of my favorite brands and the theming, it's just everything. This speaks to my soul. I'm very, very into it. The shimmers are incredible. I love all these different mattes, just such pretty tones. I'm very, very pleased with this one. I had such a great time playing with it. I feel like this fits in so well with things that they already have. It's just so, so gorgeous. I'm very excited about it. This really was just such a great lineup of palettes. I had such a fun time. Formula-wise, I didn't have a single issue. A couple of these I've already played with, again, on like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and the other three I do intend on doing as soon as I can. Those might have possibly already started rolling out by the time this video goes up as well. But yeah, I feel like this was just very fun just makeup playtime. And I'm excited to hear your thoughts. Do you have any of these / plan on picking up any of these? What is catching your eye? Which look was your favorite? I would love to know. If you made it to the end of this video, out of these 5 palettes, pick your favorite and leave emojis to represent that palette. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me over on Instagram and BATTYBEAN there as well. Also, if you want to, you can subscribe. I'm posting most days over here and you can join my channel memberships. Link to sign up will be down below. There's a couple different tiers with a couple different perks and I would love to have you. Also, my second channel is linked down below if you want some additional content. I would love to see you over there as well. Thank you so much for watching and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.